Today's video is going to be an interesting one. For today's video, in the city of Columbus, you have City Attorney Zach Klein. I'm going to put him up here, and City Council President Shannon Hardin. I'm going to put him over here. This is a video with an incident that happened in late August where they are going to clearly demonstrate to us the difference between a peaceful protester and an illegal protester, because we all know that peaceful protesters should not be arrested and illegal protesters should be arrested. And in today's video, they are going to show us where that line is, because they both asked police to go ahead and arrest some protesters. So, like I said, I've got a news article here. I'm going to pull it up. This is an article I saw in the Columbus Dispatch written by a guy named Theodore Decker. This is an incident that happened at the end of August. I wanted to share this incident for quite some time, but I was waiting until I had the body camera footage, and I'm going to show you here. I actually have all the body camera footage for this incident, and once I'm done talking about what happened, I'm actually going to show you a very, very short edit of what happened with the protests that happened at these guys' houses. I figure if I'm going to talk about it, I better talk about it. So on August 28th, 2022, some protesters showed up at the homes of Columbus City Council President Shannon Hardin and Columbus City Attorney Zach Klein. Zach Klein and Shannon Hardin had these people arrested, which kind of goes against what they've been saying in the past. That's something that Theodore Decker points out. Instead of going over it myself, I'm going to kind of use his article to walk you through it. So Theodore Decker says, peaceful protesters should not be arrested unless they are on my lawn. And he goes down to say, back in November 2020, the Office of Columbus City Attorney Zach Klein issued an open letter to the residents of Columbus. The title was A Special Message from City Attorney Zach Klein and Police Chief Thomas Quinlan. Y'all remember Thomas Quinlan? I did a video about him the other day about how the city threw him under the bus. Here is the statement that was released by Columbus City Attorney Zach Klein, where he says, we are writing you today in response to a recent policy change issued by the Columbus Division of Police related to the processing of arrest and incarcerating individuals who commit non-violent misdemeanors such as theft or trespassing. Here's something that Theodore Decker did is he took that statement and he went ahead and made some changes to it. The changes are going to be highlighted in bold print, so you know, because apparently something has changed in Zach Klein's mind from the time that he wrote that till today. So let's go through and see what, according to Theodore Decker, the changes should be. So I already told you that the letter says that crimes such as theft and trespassing shall not be arrestable offenses any longer. Here, I can make this a little bit bigger so you guys can read along. That's why I put my face on this side of the screen, as a matter of fact. So this policy change revolves around a single premise that we support and promote public safety. Individuals who have little or no recent criminal history should not be arrested and immediately taken to jail for committing a non-violent misdemeanor. Instead, these individuals should be detained, identified, and issued a summons with a court date to be prosecuted. No policy change involving public safety or victims lets the individual off the hook for criminal conduct. Public safety, this is an edit that Theodore Decker made, or the assurance that our city's elected officials can barbecue in peace on a nice summer's evening is always a priority. Police continue to have discretion to arrest and immediately take individuals to jail for non-violent misdemeanors if that individual becomes violent or resists arrest during the interaction with police, has outstanding warrants, or is a repeat or serial offender, and arrest is deemed necessary to stop the conduct, has committed a prostitution-related offense, and the officer believes the arrest is necessary to help save that person's life because of addiction or to help escape their abuser. Or has the audacity to show up at an elected official's home to call out certain policy decisions that the official in question does not want to talk about. As you can see, based on these exceptions, we can envision no scenario where an officer cannot arrest and immediately take to jail a non-violent misdemeanor offender when public safety is at risk, or in order to stop a repetitive or continual criminal conduct, or when the non-violent misdemeanor offender is clearly getting under the skin of someone on Columbus City Council or the city attorney's office. These changes are identified as best practices by the International Association of Chiefs of Police because they free up police to focus on fighting crime that is a threat to public safety, like violent individuals and serial offenders who need to be incarcerated, or rabble-rousers, defined by those in power. And then it goes on to, I'll address that in a minute. So you're going to get to see the videos of their arrest here in a moment. And I wanted to go back to this. So the exceptions to this policy were when a non-violent misdemeanor becomes violent or resists arrest during their action with the police, has outstanding warrants, is a known repeat or serial offender, or the arrest is necessary to stop the conduct. So now I'm going to go down to a Facebook post made by Shannon Hardin. And this is a post that shows the riots in Columbus, Ohio. It shows officers using force. Here, this is, what's her name? She is a congresswoman. I can't remember her name. She's an idiot though. And she, basically an officer went to place somebody in arrest and she reached out and slapped the officer for her actions. She was maced. So Shannon Hardin made this big long post saying he's frustrated and infuriating. And he's calling for reform, saying that we need independent investigations into police use of force, civilian review board, safety advisory commission, all this other stuff, because he was upset that the police were arresting and using force against peaceful protesters. The problem was that these peaceful protesters, which I think he even said 99% of the protesters were just there trying to make their voice heard. The problem is once they were asked to move on and leave, they refused to do so and they became unpeaceful. Similar to, got a picture right here. If somebody were to set up a tent, say in your front yard, this is a form of peaceful protest when the police officers arrive on scene and say, look, this is a peaceful protest, but it's not a legal protest. We're going to ask you to go ahead and move on. If those people refuse to move on, they are subject to arrest. If those people that are being arrested resist arrest, the officers are going to use force against those individuals or any individual who stops the police, who attempts to stop the police from arresting them. I just wanted to take a moment to say thank you to Columbus City Council President Shannon Hardin and to Columbus City Attorney Zachary Klein for helping define what is a peaceful protester and what is not a peaceful protester. So I would now say that the definition of a peaceful protester is someone who protests in the public space and their protest does not interfere with another person's enjoyment of their own personal property, whether it be your front yard or if those protesters are blocking a roadway, not allowing the public to traverse on that roadway, not allowing the public to enjoy their own personal property, which is their vehicle, or preventing people from getting to their places of business or their places of worship. I would consider those two things to be very similar to what happened in the front yard of these two public officials. So I went ahead and edited the arrest down. I think it's only about 4 or 5 more minutes to go. With that, I'm going to get out of the way. You guys won't see me again until the next video. I will talk to you later.
How you doing, man? What's your name? Joe. Joe, I'm Mike.
Mike.
What's going on, man?
Pardon me?
I said, what's going on?
Civil Disobedience Act. We're protesting the lack of the city doing anything for the homeless and the low-income people for housing.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Have you been to council meetings and stuff before and raised any awareness, or just curiosity?
Absolutely.
She's saying that mid-September there was going to be a sweep.
Right.
I was unaware of that, but okay. Okay.
14.
And is it specifically for that, or just all?
For Mount Street, eastbound,
Okay.
Children's Hospital.
Yeah. Okay.
Camp Shameless, what they know to most people.
Okay. So what is your goal here tonight?
Trying to get their attention.
Okay. I think you got it for sure.
Well, you know what? The problem is that they want to talk, but meetings and things are useless.
Yeah.
It's just talk. And it's time that Shannon Hardin, Coleman's puppet, does something. And they don't have the courage or the guts to take action.
Coleman, who's Coleman? Coleman, the last mayor?
The last mayor.
Okay,
That's the one who basically put him in office. So, yep. Okay. We need something done. And it's not getting any better, it's getting worse. As you guys know, evictions are on the rise, foreclosures are on the rise, apartment rates, home rentals are going up and up and up, and these people are sitting on hundreds of millions of dollars, and they're not doing anything with it with the American Rescue Plan money, and they're just sitting on it. This is what we're doing. That's why we're here, and that's why the other, there's somebody in front of Zach Klein's, and there's somebody in front of Shayla Favor's house.
Right now?
Yes.
Okay.
And they've
not
already
this part of town, I don't think, because we haven't heard about that.
They've already arrested the people at Klein's, and we don't know what's taking place at Favors yet.
Okay.
So, yeah, they've already arrested people at Klein's house.
Okay.
City attorney.
Well, ultimately, I don't want that to happen. I don't want anybody to get arrested, okay? But I also don't want a person's house or any person's house to not to have people on it that aren't, invited here, aren't supposed to be here. You know what I mean?
Understand.
So.
I understand. Well, we're going to stay, so.
LT, do you want me?
Yeah, if you want to talk to him, yeah. If you want to talk to him and. Well, do you want, since I talked to him earlier, you want me to, I'll talk to him.
If you want to, yes.
Yeah, and just kind of let him know. And do that, and then we'll ask again. If you don't leave now, you can get cited for criminal trespassing. And that was on you saying you would pursue.
Yeah, we will.
Okay. So if we go that route, we'll go that route, and then obviously we'll arrest him. The other two? Okay, guys, I talked to him. He's not going to come out, and talk to you guys. I think there's a way to conduct business, and it's not on my personal property, so I get that. I said, okay, but this is not the place for it, okay? I know you've said they've arrested Klein, and we don't want to make any arrest, okay? But you cannot be on his property, uninvited, okay?
I understand.
Now, you can certainly be on the street and stand right there all night long,
Right.
Civil disobedience and, non-violent, and he was certainly okay with that, too. But he just didn't want you on the property, and I explained how our procedure, okay, just like I'll explain it to you,
Sure.
okay, which I'm sure you're probably well aware of what our procedure is, okay?
All right, great.
Okay.
Thank you.
Are you willing to leave his property?
No, I think we're going to stay.
Okay, so you both understand now that we'll cite you with the state code of criminal trespassing, and then you'll be arrested, brought down to Franklin County Jail.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and turn around for me, and we'll get you cuffed up. Okay, go ahead and release your fingers for me. Okay.
Is anybody claiming ownership of this tent?
I'm the police liaison,
Okay.
so if you want to speak to any of them or anything you want to tell them, you can talk to me.
Okay.
So the protesters are here right now because of the sweep happening on East Mount Street.
Okay.
So there are some demands.
Okay, that's fine. So here's the thing. The property owner doesn't want them on their property, okay?
Okay.
So now there's a trespass notice. I'll talk to you because you say that you're the liaison to them. If you could tell them they can just move right over to this piece of grass right here. That's public property, okay? But the property owner of this particular address no longer wants them on their property, all right? We have no problem with you guys protesting, but this is currently private property that you reside on, okay? So you have to move somewhere that's public, all right? Because the property owner does not want you on their property. You are subject to arrest if you don't comply, all right? That's it. You guys can just move right over. That piece of grass over there is public property. It's a public park, and you're legally allowed to be there until 11 p.m., okay? Hello?
They might just need some time to like start like getting up there.
Well, they're not moving. That's the problem. So they're just completely ignoring our commands. So they're not complying. So they need to start getting up, getting their stuff, and going over to a different side. Going over to the
7610 channel 4 here.
Let's start.
7610 good. Sir, you have 7611 on here.
For everybody inside the tent, we need you guys to get up.
They'll only.
We need you guys to get
7611,
up.
are you on the air?
Everything that you're saying right now.
We need you guys to start getting up and start
I'm the
packing up
person
your
that they're
property.
supposed to be
Well,
acting as their communication.
I understand
Because
that,
I'm the
but
police liaison.
Thank
they're
you.
not listening to you, so I'm going to talk to them directly in hopes they listen to me to avoid an arrest, because we don't want to arrest them. We want them to obey the law and leave this property. So here's the deal. This is your last warning, final warning. You must get up. You must start vacating the property, or you're going to be placed under arrest.
So, like I said before.
Okay, all three of you are now under arrest for criminal trespassing.
You can stand up. Come on up.
Move them out. Move them out of the way.